start the presentation. The paper that I prepared is named Adopting Labor Market Requirements in Mechanical Engineering Education, case of the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Kosovo. It is a paper that me and another professor, Professor Shpetim Lajqi, who is a former Vice Dean for the Quality of Teaching, and me as a current Vice Dean for Teaching and Student Affairs. We prepared this paper as an analysis of the long time work of the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering to work and analyze and change curricula based on labor market requirements in Kosovo. And the paper is prepared based on a survey of the faculty as a part of University of Prishtina. It is a study that describes changes in the labor market requirements that are shifting towards advanced technologies and challenges of university to be in line with these requirements, which are apparently huge challenges. It describes the necessity of reconfiguration of teaching curriculums, teaching infrastructure, and cooperation with all stakeholders in order to increase the knowledge and skills of mechanical engineers, future mechanical engineers. Here are presented also changes in requirements and advances in the labor market, which are very important. And these changes are in Kosovo, a developing country, regarding the engineering jobs, particularly in mechanical engineering profile. Results are going to be described in mainly in the table forms, and also some of them discussed. Here is a brief biography of the authors, which I explained in the beginning. Probably I'm going to put this presentation also in the presentations part of the conference. I will continue. What was the motivation? Main motivation was analysis of job market for students and graduates of mechanical engineering in Kosovo and the future perspective for having a job in their field of competence. Faculty of Mechanical Engineering of the University of Prishtina is a state educational institution that teaches and prepares engineers for the mechanical and transportation fields. We took very seriously the task of improving the teaching curriculums based on the labor market needs, which is a necessity, and to help current students and future engineers to find jobs, advance their knowledge. We will present here the difficulties, changes, and other issues that the management of this faculty is facing to the new era of technologies and changes of labor market. What are the main questions if the researches are the level of skills and qualifications of graduated engineers sufficient for labor market requirements? Other important questions are, do we comply with labor market requirements, or do we continue with inherited engineering education, which were known previously as sufficient? What is the level of the knowledge of new students coming from high schools and middle schools, of course, and are they sufficient for university studies? In what level should we change curriculums and teaching programs? Do we need new teaching programs based on new technologies? Or, I will continue here, the current programs are sufficient. Which are the new technologies that need to be implemented? Are these changes sufficient? What are the feedbacks from economy and labor markets? What are the experiences of other universities? And how will older professors accept new changes? And there are more other questions. I will elaborate this. Changes in the labor market are a big challenge for students and engineers too, as job seekers after the studies. Naming few of them. How does labor market change, and how does that affect the engineers? How do engineers comply with these changes? Can they fit with the new advancing technologies? Are young engineers better prepared than middle-aged or older engineers? How can university and faculty help on these dilemmas? I will present these approaches and issues further. Theoretical background of this paper, I will be short on this, is based on two main theories about the analysis of labor market that were developed since 18th century, mainly two concepts, human capital theory and job matching theory. Theoretical contribution of this paper is in the field of job matching theory. This research represents the actual demands of the labor market for mechanical engineers and activities of FME, this is short for faculty, in order to match with those requirements. The paper is also in the line with skills alignment goals and labor market alignment theory, but a little bit less with job vacancy alignment goals. Main contribution of the paper is the research about labor market requirements and levels of skills and qualifications using the methodology of survey to gather information from main stakeholders in the process, which are graduates, university, and companies in the era of rapid advancement of technology, and transit economies in the countries like Republic of Kosovo, with a fast development of productivity, which was about 5 to 6% before the pandemic. Now it's dropping a little bit. Now, changes in the labor requirements, which were identified, are many private and public companies in Kosovo contact FME and require student practitioners, bachelor and master graduates to employ. They are satisfied with their knowledge and competence for basic engineering skills, but their requirements are high and they change in time. Managers of these companies have specific requirements. The students or candidates need to have high knowledge in engineering, depending on the specific fields, mainly automotive, thermoenergetic installations, manufacturing, logistics, transportation, including mathematics and English language. In recent years, to the list of requirements are added mechatronics, automation, knowledge of specific softwares, and computer programming. Request for English knowledge is a difficult task, while teaching in the University of Prishtina is in Albanian native language. But there are all two English subjects that are compulsory now, and other subjects of languages like French and German are available as elective courses. To make the task more difficult, requirements for English knowledge are in the fields of mechanical engineering and transportation. Basic English knowledge is not sufficient anymore. Even advanced English knowledge is not enough. It is required the English knowledge and proficiency in the professional mechanical fields, which is quite a challenging task. Another challenge is response to the requirements for mechatronics and automation proficiency, which also includes computer programming. The mechatronics is a new field that is advancing fast and becoming an integral part of mechanical systems, machines, and processes. Based on this, we conducted a survey in year 2018, and it was done with managers of 34 companies. The 19 of them were in the fields of manufacturing and industrial products, metal processing, wood processing, chemical processing, and food processing. 5 companies are in the heating and ventilation systems installation. 6 of them are from the logistics and transportation services. 4 of them are vehicles servicing companies. We are happy that we did conduct the survey then, because now in the time of pandemics, it would be very difficult to conduct such a survey due to the changes of the situation. Then we did survey with graduates, included 89 graduates, 37 bachelor and 52 master level graduates. The survey contained questionnaires about the requirements of specific topics, which were presented in the next table. Now, this is a table that is a summary of those requirements. I will zoom it a little bit, if I could. Now, these are the topics that are mainly and are most important for the assessment and the evaluation of requirements. As first one, engineering basic knowledge, which is required as a medium but mandatory from the stakeholder, from the managers of the economy. Then advanced engineering knowledge in specific field, which is high. Obsolete and older technologies low. Advanced technologies concerning the hardware high. Software, also high. English language proficiency, also high. Computer programming skills is in a medium level. Other languages proficiency, except Albanian native, medium. Internet and communication technologies, which email, web surfing, communications is high requirement. Mathematics is medium to high, and preferred age of candidates 25 to 35 years. These are main requirements of the labor market and the companies conducting, which were part of the survey. Based on this, the faculty responds to these challenges, and the challenges were planned in the strategic, that were written in the strategic plan known as the milestones plan, with 5 main activities: redesigning curriculums, creating new teaching programs, improving teaching spaces, laboratories, and equipment, intensification of international cooperation and mobility, creating industrial body, cooperation with local industries and business enterprises. I will be short on this to be as much as efficient. The faculty has 6 programs, namely manufacturing, thermoenergetics, constructions and mechanization, traffic and transport, mechatronics, industrial engineering and management. First 3 programs, older programs, other 3 are new, or let's say later developed programs. The assessment of these programs are undergo the process of accreditation from Kosovo Accreditation Agency, assigned by Ministry of Education and Science. And according to this, to enter the accreditation process, we will have to develop the self-evaluation report and other requirements asked for it. Based on this, since the start of accreditation process, FME has made curriculum changes shown here in 2, let's say, terms. The 2011 to 2014, the changes are done 20% for curriculums and 25% for syllabi, and 2014, 2017, 15% and 30% according. These changes are ongoing all the time. That similar are to now in this 3-year period. And now, regarding the data, the regulation of ministry allows only change of the 20% of the subjects in the teaching programs. Changes in the syllabi of subjects are done based on various parameters. To mention few changes in the content of lectures, new plans of exercises, improvements in laboratories, etc., publication of research papers, changes in the literature, and technological advancements that need to be followed. Regarding this, teaching process improvements are shown here in the table in order to increase the quality of teaching, shown here in 2 periods. In this table are shown the number of students for each program enrolled in the years. The interest is higher for the new programs, but older programs are holding well. These are some of the pictures of the current work with students in the laboratories. Here are the improvements in the teaching facilities and laboratories in the previous years, namely 2000 comparison of between 2013 and 2018. This was the response to the challenges of the labor market requirements, including the comments from the accreditation body. These are the employments of the graduates. Now I will stay here in this table, which is, I think, important because many people here are being surprised that we have almost we have the percentage of employment of our graduates is high. Basically 95% of master graduates are employed in Kosovo, and 87% of bachelor graduates are employed, and this is changing. The 5% or 2% is unknown, not because we don't know, but because we don't have contact. Many of them are also employed outside of Kosovo, which broadened the labor market from the national borders to, yeah, let's say, European borders. We are very happy about these results, and these are results actually continuing now, going and being well. Also, in the time of pandemics, this situation is almost constant. Uh, we have intensified international cooperation and mobility to increase the level of the competence of the teachers. And we have created the industrial body containing about 26 partner companies from private and public enterprises, which help and aid on the changing of the curriculums and the teaching programs. As a conclusion, labor market requirements are changing fast. Knowledge for the new technologies of mechanical engineering is a demand, and to add here new technologies of communication, mainly internet. Knowledge of English languages proficiency, and proficiency is high requirement. And sometimes also knowledge of German, French, or Croatian. Some of these demands are relatively new, and engineers have difficulties to comply with all the changes. Technology is advancing fast and requires knowledge and qualification, which is difficult to gain quickly. We have presented this on this paper, and based on the changes and on the challenges, we have also created the strategic plans based on labor market requirements and the methodology this plan will be implemented. Results of changes are promising, and there will be more work in the future while mechanical engineering field is advancing fast. Thank you for that, for your attention. I hope I was in time. Sorry if I prolonged a little bit. I cannot watch the timing always. If there are any questions, please. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. If there are no, I will, let me see how to stop this sharing, because I stop share. Yeah, thank you.